Namaskar. Hello and welcome to Sunset TV. I am Namrata Singh and you are watching Question Hour. This show focuses on important questions raised by members in both Houses of Parliament concerning matters of national interest. In the Rajya Sabha today, members from various parties posed questions related to 14 ministries and sought responses from the respective ministers. Similarly, in the Lok Sabha's Question Hour, members from diverse parties raised questions pertaining to 9 ministries and sought responses from the respective ministers. Now, let's take a look at some of the questions whose replies were tabled today.
Lok Sabha member Azad Kirti Jha asked the Minister of Civil Aviation whether government has received any information from the Department of Fertilizers regarding making the provision of 10 drones per village to meet the requirement of over 6 lakh villages for developing entrepreneurs for drone-based spraying of liquid fertilizers such as nano-fertilizers.
Sir, the Namo Drone Didi program is a flagship program which was envisioned by the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji for financial inclusion and especially the empowerment of women. And I am very happy to share that this has really improved the earning of the women in which we have done this thing also, sir. And regarding which ministry does it come under? This is the parent department is Department of Fertilizer, which is dealing with this drones distribution, sir. The scheme actually comes under the Department of Fertilizers, which is trying to give the 80% subsidy to the women self-help groups. And the whole number of drones that need to be distributed is up to 15,000 drones. And we have done up to 500. And why we are trying to see how the remaining 14,500 will be done is through indigenization. We want to promote more indigenization of drones. So this is a collective effort. Ministry of Civil Aviation, Ministry of Agriculture, Department of Fertilizer. Collectively we want to see and promote the utilization of drones in agriculture because we see a direct impact, especially in the earnings that the usage of drones can give to the owner of the drone and also the impact it can have in the agricultural production and the reduction of the fertilizer or pesticides that get used in agriculture, sir. And the figure of distributing these 10 drones, this has come up in a discussion between these ministries when we were trying to promote, to look at the potential itself. What will be the potential? We have come up with the aspirational figure that we can have at least 10 drones per village. And initially through the Namo Drone Didi program, we are doing 15,000 drones. Distribution 500 have been done. And in the remaining time period, stipulated time for the Drone Didi in those 3 years, we are going to see that the remaining 14,500 drones are also going to be distributed.
Rajya Sabha member Sanjeev Arora asked the Minister of Science and Technology the percentage of the Genome India project samples collected from rural, urban and tribal populations separately. The challenges faced in ensuring equitable representation of these populations and the steps being taken to overcome these challenges. The ministry in its reply informed the House that under the Genome India project, approximately 36.7%, 32.2% and 31.1% samples were collected from rural, urban and tribal populations respective equitable representation across the 3 communities. Challenges faced during collection of samples include reaching tribal remote regions to collect samples and gather data from these populations was a difficult task. Overcoming socio-economic and cultural barriers and convincing such populations for their participation in the project was challenging. Rural and tribal populations are not having sufficient awareness of the benefits of genetic research that led to misunderstandings about its purpose and value. Educating and convincing such populations was hard. Rural and tribal populations were not easily accessible and on the contrary, urban populations were often more accessible and had greater awareness. Hence, removal of bias by ensuring participation of appropriate proportions of all types of populations was important. Insufficient accessibility to state-of-the-art healthcare infrastructure, laboratories and skilled professionals in isolated regions made it challenging to collect samples and conduct blood parameters assessments. Furthermore, under Genome India project, a reference genome for the Indian population with equitable representation from rural, urban and tribal population has been developed. The Genome India team followed pre-planned strategies to overcome the above challenges. Nearby logistics hubs were established for sample transportation and laboratories were approached in advance to prepare resources for handling a higher number of samples. Additionally, partnerships with local healthcare institutions were formed to streamline data collection and improve accessibility. Involvement of local leaders and community representatives in interactions with rural and tribal populations helped to mitigate cultural and socio-economic barriers, to build trust and promote a greater participation by rural and tribal populations. Outreach programs and community engagements, making the populations aware about the importance of genetic studies and to assure them on data confidentiality made to dispel myths and clarify the goals of the Genome India project. Moderated campaigns were organized to ensure a balanced inclusion of diverse groups. Logistic constraints in isolated regions were handled with systematic planning. Lok Sabha members Dhairashil Sambhaji Rao Mane, Sudhir Gupta among others asked the Minister of Civil Aviation whether government has started the fast-track immigration trusted traveller program and the manner in which the said program is going to facilitate the passengers. The ministry in its reply informed the House that fast-track immigration trusted traveller program for Indian nationals and overseas citizenship of India card holders promotes world-class immigration facilities and facilitates the passengers by providing accelerated immigration passage. The program has commenced at 8 major airports like Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Kochi and Ahmedabad. The registration of FTI TTP is available through an online portal. The House was also informed that extension of the FTI TTP to other airports is a continuous process. Rajya Sabha member JB Mather Hisham asked the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change whether government has received assistance from any international agencies in the efforts to combat climate change and the measures taken to combat climate change and to reduce the impact of climate change.
वाइल्ड प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट 1972 के सेक्शन 11B में स्टेट के जो चीफ वाइल्ड लाइफ वार्डन है वो पूरी तरीके से उनको पावर दी गई है कि वो इस प्रकार के जानवर जो हिंसक होकर के हानि पहुंचा रहे हैं उन पर कार्रवाई कर सकते हैं। मैं समझता हूं केरला सरकार इसके संबंध में संवेदनापूर्ण कार्रवाई करेगी। ये सच है कि जो क्लाइमेट चेंज के इम्पैक्ट है वो विभिन्न मंत्रालयों के संबंध में कोऑर्डिनेशन के साथ किया जाता है और इसके संबंध में नेशनल क्लाइमेट का एक एक्शन प्लान है। स्टेट लेवल के हिसाब से भी स्टेट एक्शन प्लान है जिसको समय समय पर बातचीत के द्वारा पूरा किया जाता है।
Rajya Sabha member Yeram Venkat Subba Reddy asked the Minister of Tourism whether it is a fact that the ministry under Special Assistance to States or Union Territories for Capital Investment Scheme has sanctioned funds for development of 40 lesser known sites in the country.
अभी हाल में पिछले 2 महीने पहले जो सैस्की के स्पेशल असिस्टेंस टू द स्टेट्स के अंतर्गत जो प्रोजेक्ट सैंक्शन किए गए थे उसके संदर्भ में होगा कि अभी क्योंकि प्रोजेक्ट हमने सैंक्शन किए हैं उसमें निश्चित रूप से जिन 5 विषयों का हमने संदर्भ लिया है उसमें टूरिज्म इकोसिस्टम, कनेक्टिविटी टू द साइट, कैरिंग कैपेसिटी असेसमेंट एंड सस्टेनेबिलिटी मेजर्स, इन 4 चीज़ों को प्रमुखता के साथ में रखा है। लेकिन ये तय है कि जब कभी भी जिस जगह पे टूरिज्म पोटेंशियल ग्रो होता है तो ऑटोमेटिकली वहाँ पे मैनी फोल्ड जॉब क्रिएशन होता है एंड टूरिज्म इज़ बीइंग कंसिडर्ड वर्ल्ड वाइज एट द सेकंड लार्जेस्ट जॉब क्रिएटर। एग्जैक्ट नंबर एस्टिमेट करना मुझे लगता है इट इज़ सो टू अर्ली, बट निश्चित रूप से इन प्रोजेक्ट्स की साइट्स को जहाँ आइडेंटिफाई किया है हमने फ्यूचर में वहाँ फुटफॉल इंक्रीज हो. Many of the sites which has been considered, their sites are the alternative tourist destinations from the established destinations. So certainly when we create some infrastructure, tourism infrastructure, or establish a new tourism product, introduce a new tourism product, certainly the job creation with the footfall of the increasing footfall of the tourists, it increases. And I wish and we hope and we expect that the many-fold job creation is going to happen.
Lok Sabha members Dr. Vinod Kumar Been, Alok Sharma, Pradeep Kumar Singh, Pratap Chandra Sarangi, among others, asked the Minister of Food Processing Industries steps being taken to ensure that small farmers and small organizations, particularly in remote or underdeveloped areas, are made aware of and are able to avail benefits of the cold chain scheme. The ministry informed the House that proposals under integrated cold chain and value addition infrastructure are invited from time to time across the country, including remote or underdeveloped areas, by floating expression of interest on the ministry's website. It is also circulated that Press Information Bureau and leading national and regional newspapers. Scheme awareness is also carried out through its social media platforms and official website. Detailed information, guidelines and updates about the scheme are made available on the official website, providing easy access to relevant resources. The House was further informed that individuals, including small farmers, as well as entities, organizations such as FPOs, FPCs, NGOs, PSUs, firms, companies, etc., are eligible to avail benefits under the scheme. The scheme also provides for financial assistance to various eligible organizations for organizing events such as seminars, workshops, conferences, exhibitions, etc. across the country to create awareness amongst stakeholders, including small farmers and small organizations, on various schemes, including cold chain scheme. A total 60 events were organized by various organizations for the above purpose in 2024. The Rajya Sabha member Dr. Bhim Singh asked the Minister of Tourism whether government has observed an increase in awareness and interest towards tourism among Indian citizens as a result of various promotional efforts made under the Dekho Apna Desh initiative. If so, the details thereof. The ministry in its reply informed the House that Dekho Apna Desh initiative for promotion of domestic tourism in the country promotes tourism destinations and products of India through various activities such as webinars, quiz, pledge, seminars, tourism promotional events, website, social media, etc. The Dekho Apna Desh People's Choice aims to engage with citizens to identify most preferred tourist attractions. Rajya Sabha member Aditya Prasad asked the Minister of Communications whether government is running any special scheme for installation of mobile towers to promote telecom connectivity in rural, remote and hilly areas of the country, including particularly vulnerable tribal group habitations.
मैं ये स्पष्ट कहना चाहता हूँ सर कि पहली बार देश में एक ऐसी सरकार आई है प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में जिसने समस्त आदिवासी समाज के केवल गांव नहीं लेकिन टप्परों का भी विकास का सर्वांगीण विकास की योजना बनाई है। प्रधानमंत्री जन मन योजना 25,000 गांव एवं टप्परों को लेकर आदिवासी बाहुल क्षेत्र में वहां केवल दूरसंचार की सुविधा नहीं सर, पर उसके साथ शिक्षा, स्वास्थ्य, पोषण, सैनिटेशन, संपूर्ण पेयजल की समस्या का निवारण, संपूर्ण समस्या होलिस्टिक सॉल्यूशन सर, इन 25,000 गांवों के लिए कैबिनेट ने योजना नवंबर 2023 में पारित किया 24,000 करोड़ रुपए का सर आदिवासी समाज के लिए। और उसी के अंतर्गत हमारे सहभागी मंत्रालय आदिवासी मंत्रालय ने एक सूचना हमें भेजी जुलाई 2024 में, मतलब कि केवल 6 महीने हुए हैं, गाँव की लिस्ट के साथ जहां दूरसंचार की टावर्स की ज़रूरत है। उसका सर्वे दूरसंचार मंत्रालय के द्वारा किया गया और सर्वे के अंतर्गत सर हम लोग ने 2590 गांव चिन्हित किए जहां 1716 टावर्स हम लोग लगाने जा रहे हैं। ये 15 राज्यों में हैं और 3 स्कीम्स के अंतर्गत हैं। इसमें जैसे मैंने कहा सर, केवल गांव शामिल नहीं है, मजरे टोले भी शामिल हैं सर। और कई गांव और मजरे टोलों में अभी भी लैटलॉन्ग की कठिनाई हो रही है, यूनिक सेंसस कोड नहीं है। लेकिन उसके बाद भी मुझे बड़ी खुशी है आपको रिपोर्ट करते हुए सर कि इन 2590 गांव में से 901 गांव में हमारे टावर लग चुके हैं। 1716 टावर्स में से 519 टावर्स लग चुके हैं। मतलब 6 महीने के अवधि में जुलाई जो 2024 से आज तक सर्वे हो चुका, रेखांकित हो चुके और टावर्स भी लग चुके। 35% रिकॉर्ड टाइम में हमने किया। इसलिए जो प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा है तीसरा टर्म, मतलब 3 गुना ज़्यादा मेहनत, 3 गुना ज़्यादा शक्ति और 3 गुना ज़्यादा रिजल्ट। और यही दूरसंचार मंत्रालय ने भी करने की कोशिश की है। 90 करोड़ ग्राहक थे, आज 116 करोड़ ग्राहक है दूरसंचार क्षेत्र में मोबाइल के सेवा में। अगर हम इंटरनेट पेनिट्रेशन की बात करें सर, 25 करोड़ ग्राहक थे 2014 में, आज करीब 97.4 ग्राहक हैं। मैं वहाँ आ रहा हूँ रणदीप जी। थर्ड सर, ब्रॉडबैंड की हम बात करें जो 2 Gbps की से ज़्यादा होती है कनेक्टिविटी, केवल 25 करोड़ ग्राहक थे 140 करोड़ के देश में। आज वो बढ़कर 92 करोड़ हो चुका है देश के अंदर सर। और ज़रूर जब ये नंबर बढ़ते हैं तो दाम पे भी पूरी तरह से निगरानी रखना बहुत ज़रूरी है, जो रणदीप जी ने कहा। और मैं उनको सूचित करना चाहता हूँ, 2014 में 1 मिनट का कॉल मोबाइल पर 50 पैसे लगता था सर। आज 2025 में सर 10 साल बाद 1 मिनट का कॉल 3 पैसे लेता है सर, 3 पैसे। मतलब 94% गिरावट आई है कॉस्ट स्ट्रक्चर में।
प्लीज नॉट रणदीप जी, प्लीज बैठे।
94% गिरावट आई। हाँ। और मैं उनको सूचित ये भी करना चाहता हूं कि जो ब्रॉडबैंड 1 GB की कॉस्ट 2014 में होती थी 270 रुपए पर GB होती थी, आज सर 10 साल बाद पर GB कॉस्ट इस देश के अंदर 9 रुपए 70 पैसे है सर। 93% गिरावट आई है। आज भारत सर, मैं बताना चाहता हूं, आज भारत पूरे विश्व में,
आपको कोई इजाजत नहीं बोलूंगी
सर, आज भारत पूरे विश्व में सबसे किफायती देश है डेटा के आधार पर, पूरे विश्व में प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में।
Well, that is all I have for you in this edition of Question Hour. Stay tuned and thanks for watching Sunset TV.